Hello students, welcome back to subject Network and Cyber Security, presenting by Manjunatha Iyer, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, CEC Mangalore. This video lecture, we are going to cover about Internet Key Exchange. So that is IP Security Key Management. Okay, inside the IP Security Key Management, the protocols we need to study. So one of the protocol is Oakley Key Management Protocol. So how this protocol it manages the key exchange between the two users, and the second protocol is called as Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol. Okay, so that is ISA KMP, in short form. Okay, ISA KMP, and this is one of the this is a second protocol or another type of protocol. How we are using this protocol for a key management, and key determination protocol, and the example for key exchange setup. So here we are going to discuss about iKey version 2 of Internet Key Exchange. Here we will discuss about IP security key management or Internet Key Exchange. The key management portion of IP security involves the determination and the distribution of secret keys between sender and receiver. Typically, it needs two pairs of keys. Okay, that is 4 keys are required. 2 keys per direction for authentication header protocol and encapsulated security payload. Okay, authentication header takes the 2 keys, and encapsulating security payload, it takes the 2 keys. So total 4 keys are required, so which means 2 pairs of keys are required over here. So the IP security architecture document mandates support for 2 types of key management. The first one is manual key management. So here, key management will be done by manually. So it is called manual key management. So a system administrator manually configures each system with its own key and with the keys of other communicating systems. This is practical for small or relatively static environments. The second type of key management is automated key management. Here, an automated system enables the on-demand creation of keys for SCS, Security Association, and facilitates the use of keys in large distributed system with an involving configurations. So also it has automated key management can be achieved by two protocol, Oakley and ISA KMP elements. These two are different protocols. So we'll talk about Oakley key management and ISA KMP protocols, how we are using for automated key management in detail. In next upcoming slides. So here, as we done the discussion in previous slide, automated key management can be achieved through 2 protocols. By default, Automated key management protocol for IP security is referred to as ISA KMP or Oakley, used to consist of the following elements. So that is Oakley key determination protocol. The second one is Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol. Okay, in short form, we'll say ISA KMP. So Oakley key determination protocol here. So Oakley is a key exchange protocol based on the Diffie-Hellman algorithm, but providing added security, where Oakley is a generic in that it does not dictate specific formats. So basically Oakley key determination, okay, it's based on Diffie-Hellman algorithm, but it adds it is going to add some the extra, or it is going to provide some added security. So coming to the Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol, that is ISA KMP, it provides a framework for Internet key management and provides the specific protocol support, including formats for negotiation of security attributes. Okay, so this is the difference between Oakley key management and Internet Security Association and management protocol. So here it is based on Diffie-Hellman algorithm, where it provides additional security. Here it is like a framework for internet key management. If you want to know detail about Oakley key management, it's basically a key exchange protocol. It is based on Diffie-Hellman key exchange, or DH. It uses a DH algorithm for key exchange. Okay, it's going to add features to address weaknesses like no information on parties, man-in-middle attack. We'll see man-in-middle attack later. Cost. So adds cookies, groups, global params, nonces, or DH key exchange with authentication. Can use arithmetic in prime fields or elliptic curve fields. So about ISA KMP protocol, it's the Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol. It is going to provide the framework for key management, defines the procedure and packet formats for establish and negotiate and modify and delete the security association. Independent of key exchange protocol, encryption algorithm and authentication method. Internet key exchange version 2, it's no longer uses Oakley key and ISA KMP terms, but the basic functionality is same. So Internet key exchange version 2, it is not or it is no longer uses both the protocols Oakley and ISA KMP terms, but the basic functionality of Internet key exchange version 2 and Oakley and ISA KMP terms, functionality is same. Next, key determination protocol. So as we already discussed, Oakley key management protocol is based on Diffie-Hellman algorithm. It's based on Diffie-Hellman algorithm. IKey key determination is a refinement of the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm. The Diffie-Hellman involves interaction between two users, say for example user A and user B. So there are a lot of things involved in Diffie-Hellman algorithms or algorithm to share the secret key between these two users, user A and user B. Here in this video lecture, I am not going to discuss about in detail about how the session key will be exchanged between two users using Diffie-Hellman algorithm. Here just I am going to concentrate on two attractive features of Diffie-Hellman algorithm. details about the algorithm that we are using to share the session key between the two users can refer the textbook. So one of the attractive features of Diffie-Hellman algorithm, uh, secret keys are created when needed. Okay, whenever the secret key is needed. Okay, so by that time, secret key will be created. So unnecessarily or unless we need a secret key, so it is not going to create any secret keys. So there is no need to share secret keys for a long period of time, exposing them to increased vulnerability. So suppose or we are storing secret keys for a long time, so it is going to that secret key we are going to explore for vulnerability. Okay, here we are not doing that. Okay, we are not storing the secret key for a long time, so that we are avoiding exposing that secret key for vulnerability. So this is one of the attractive features of Diffie-Hellman algorithm. The second attractive features of Diffie-Hellman algorithm is the exchange requires no existing infrastructure other than an agreement on the global parameters. So these are the two attractive features of Diffie-Hellman algorithm. So now we'll see man in the middle attack. Okay, what is man in the middle attack? Okay, let take the two users, okay, Alice and Bob. They need to communicate between each other, and they need to share the keys, public keys of Alice with Bob and Bob with the Alice. So then after they share the public key of their own public key exchange is over, so then the actual communication will be start. But there is a one more person called Darth. Okay, so he is going to act as an intruder. Okay, so he is going to act as an intruder, and so he is trying to interrupt the communication between Alice and Bob. Now let's see. Alice having his public key, that is YA. Okay, so actually he need to share his public key with the Bob, but the man in the middle, so he is nothing but Darth. So he is going to receive the public key of Alice, and so he will come to know that what is the public keys of Alice, and meanwhile he is going to share his public key. Okay, is going to share his public key, a Darth public key with the Alice. So here what's happening? So Alice is not going to share his public key with the Bob, but is going to share his public key with the Darth, where so he is not a legitimate user. Okay, is not a legitimate receiver. And similarly, in other side, Darth is going to send his public key. He is going to share his public key with the Bob, and Bob is also going to share his public key, that is YB. Okay, YB is a public key of a Darth. He is going to share with the Darth. But actually, Bob should not share his public key with the Darth. So he need to share his public key with the Alice. Okay. So now the Alice feels that he shared his public key with the Bob, and Bob also he feels that so he got a public key from the Alice and he shared his public key with the Darth. So the result is Alice and Darth share the key, that is key 2, and Bob and Darth they shared their key, that is key 1. Now whatever the communication is happening between the Alice and Bob, so it is actually first it is going to reach the Darth. Okay, so now the Darth you will see what data is going to communicate between the Alice and Bob, and if you want to do the modification, or if you want to edit any data, so now it is possible for Darth. So this is what actually the man in the middle attack. Features of internet key exchange key determination. The high key determination algorithm is characterized by 5 important features. Okay, it have 5 important features. It employs mechanism known as cookies to thwart clogging attack. It enables the two parties to negotiate a group. This is essence specifies the global parameters of the Diffie-Hellman key exchange. The third feature is it uses nonces, okay, or worthless to ensure against the reply attack. It enables the exchange of Diffie-Hellman public key values. The last features of internet key exchange is it authenticates the Diffie-Hellman exchange to thwart man in the middle attack. So it has three basic requirement, about features of high key determination. The first one is the cookies must depend on specific parties. This prevents an attackers from obtaining a cookie using a real IP address and UDP, user datagram protocol port, and then using it to swamp the victim with request from randomly chosen IP address or port. So the issuing entity to generate cookies that will be acceptable. It must not be possible for anyone other than the issuing entity to generate cookies that will be accepted by the entity is. This implies that the issuing entity will use local secret information in the generation and subsequent verification of a cookie. It must not be possible to deduce this secret information from any particular cookie. The point of this requirement is that the issuing entity need not save copies of its cookies, which are then more vulnerable to discovery, but can verify an incoming cookie acknowledgement when it needs to do. The third one, the third features, the cookie generation and verification methods must be fast to thwart attacks, indeed to sabotage processor resources. Okay, so these are the three features of IKE key determination. So three different authentication methods can be used with internet key exchange key determination. The first one is digital signature. We know what is digital signature well. So it is authenticated by signing. So we are using signing concept. The exchange is authenticated by signing a mutually obtained hash. Each party encrypts the hash with its private key. The hash is generated over important parameters such as user ID and nonces. The second authentication method is public key encryption, also authenticated by encrypting parameters. So also we know what is public key encryption, what is encryption. So we are performing encryption on public key, so that is what the meaning here. So the exchange is authenticated by encrypting parameters such as IDs and nonces with the sender's private key. Public key will be encrypted by using private key of user. Third one, third authentication method is symmetric key encryption. A key, it's a mechanism used to authenticate. It's a mechanism used to authenticate. A key derived by some out of band mechanism can be used to authenticate the exchange by symmetric encryption of exchange parameter. So these are the three different methods can be used for authentication in internet key exchange. Here we'll discuss about version 2 of IKE internet key exchange. The IKE version 2 protocol involves the exchange of messages in pairs. The first two pairs of exchanges, are referred to as the initial exchange. Okay, with refers to this figure. Okay, so if we observe that, okay, figure A says about its initial exchanges, and figure B, okay, it describe about creating a child, create a child security association exchange, and the third and final exchange is, okay, it's actual information exchange. So after the successfully completion of initial exchange and create a child security association exchange is over, okay, so the actual informations will be, okay, start exchange. So in the first exchange, okay, so that is about the initial exchanges, uh, the two peers exchange information concerning cryptographic algorithms and other security parameters they are willing to use along with nonces and Diffie-Hellman values. The result of this exchange is to set up a special security association called IKE Security Association. So here the main agenda of the initial exchange is, the result of initial exchanges is, it is going to set up a special security association called IKE Security Association. Okay, so after initial exchange is over, so the next second exchange is called as create child security association exchange. So here in this, again two parties, that is the initiator and the responder, so authenticate one another. So initiator is going to authenticate with the responder, and responder is also need to be authenticated with the initiator. The two parties authenticate one another and set up a first IPsec security association to be placed in the SA database. Okay, SA security association database, and used for protecting ordinary, that is, okay, non IKE communication between the peers. Thus, 4 messages are needed to establish the first security association. Okay, is going to be general use. So the create child security association exchange can be used to establish further security association for protecting traffic. The informational exchange is used to exchange management information, and version 2 IKE error messages and other will be get notified. Okay, so next, so after the successfully completion of initial exchange and the create child security association exchange is over, okay, the actual informations will be start sharing. So here, okay, so SDR means okay, IKE header, SAI one is security association of initiator by the initiator. KE, okay, high means Diffie-Hellman public key of initiator, and NX or okay, NI means nonces of initiator. So like that, okay. SDR means header, IKE header of a responder. SA means security association by the responder. IKE, okay, or KE or means okay, Diffie-Hellman the public key of a responder. So that, okay, same thing is applicable for responder. Summary of this video lecture: we have come across internet key exchange. Okay, so here we have come across IP security key management, Okay, there are two protocols we are using for IP security key management. Okay, so one of the protocol is Oakley key management, and the second one is Internet Security Association and Key Management Protocol. So that is ISA-KMP, and key determination protocol. And last one, okay, we have taken an example that is version 2 Internet Key Exchange, and okay, we have studied with the example. Okay, that is IKey version 2. If you have any doubts after watching this video, feel free to post your doubts in comment section so that I am able to answer your doubts. Thank you for watching my video.